Hello to you all CFD learners. In this course we will go through the mixture and Vedestim models. We will first investigate the existing physics and mention some of the applications of these two models. I'll then explain different options and limitations and restrictions of these two models. In the next sessions of this course, I will demonstrate how you can use these models through some examples. The main topics that we will cover in this chapter are first an introduction. Then we will delve deeper by explaining the mixture model and some subtopics such as the governing equations, the assumptions and restrictions of the mixture model, and of course we'll explain some of the applications of the mixture model in real life. Then I'll explain the Vedestim model and explain what it is, and also I will bring you some assumptions and restrictions to this model. In the final part, we will go over a summary of these two models, and after that you can go on further to watch the examples provided for you. The mixture model solves for the mixture momentum equations and prescribes relative velocities to describe the dispersed phases. Some of the applications of the mixture model include particle-laden flows with low loading, bubbly flows, sedimentation, cyclone separators. The mixture model is the simplest model of the mentioned models so far. It is very easy to use, but it should be mentioned that for some cases you need to consider some simplifying assumptions in order to use this model. Again, it should also be mentioned that the mixture model can also be used without relative velocities for the dispersed phases to model homogeneous multiphase flows as well. The mixture model, like the VOF model, uses a single fluid approach. It differs from the VOF model in two aspects. The first aspect would be the fact that the mixture model allows the phases to be interpenetrating. Therefore, the volume fractions can vary between 0 and 1. The second aspect would be the fact that the mixture model allows the phases to move at different velocities using the concept of slip or drift velocities. It also should be mentioned that the mixture model is considered as a simple multiphase model, yet powerful for modeling different types of multiphase flows if applied wisely. In this part, we will cover some of the points regarding the mixture model along with the employed equations and assumptions and restrictions. The main point which you should consider when using mixture model are the fact that one equation for continuity of mixture flow is solved and one equation for the momentum of the mixture is solved. And of course, the transport of volume fraction of each secondary phase is solved. Also, you can see the formulations used in the mixture model to obtain average density, velocity, and two very important parameters called drift velocity and slip velocity. These two parameters are used when modeling inhomogeneous mixture flows. You can deactivate the slip velocity in the mixture model session window to simulate homogeneous mixture flows. To have a better insight into drift and slip velocity, the concept of relative velocity should be explained and known. Here we will only slightly discuss this matter by presenting the slip velocities equation, which is shown here. It is highly recommended that you read Fluent's online help to obtain more information regarding this prominent option. Now, regarding the governing equations for slip or drift velocities, if we assume the particles Now, back to the relative velocity concept. If we assume the particles follow the mixture flow path, then the slip velocity between the phases can be calculated through the two equations shown in the middle. However, in turbulent flows, the relative velocity should contain a diffusion term in the momentum equation for the dispersed phase. Fluent adds this dispersion to the relative velocity as in the equation shown in the bottom side of this slide. So far, we have only addressed the concepts and equations behind the mixture model. Although there are some limitations to this model, it can be used to simulate a wide range of multiphase flows. One of the most interesting applications of the mixture multiphase model is its ability to study cavitation phenomenon extensively. Cavitation, in fact, occurs when a liquid at a constant temperature is subjected to a decreasing pressure, which may fall below the saturated vapor pressure. Cavitation may occur in practical applications such as biomedical applications, inducers, propeller, hydrofoils, and so many more. The mixture cavitation model can account for n-phase flows with multiphase species transport, effects of slip velocities between the liquid and gas phase, and of course the thermal effects and compressibility of both liquid and gas phases. Another model that can be used to simulate one of the most important phenomena in the industry is the wet steam model. You may have probably heard about ejectors and how they are used in power plants to generate energy or turn the supersaturated vapor into condensed matter. This model can be used to gain insight into this phenomenon and provide large amount of useful data about what is happening inside a converging-diverging nozzle when this phenomenon happens. Now, if you want to know more about the wet steam model and what it does, I should say that during the rapid expansion of a steam, a condensation process will take place shortly after the state path crosses the vapor saturation line. The expansion process causes the superheated dry steam to first subcool and then nucleate to form two-phase mixture containing both vapor and water liquid. The formation of liquid droplets in homogeneous non-equilibrium condensation process is based on the classical non-isothermal nucleation theory. There are of course some assumptions applied and used in this model, which are the facts that the velocity slip between the droplets and gaseous phase is negligible, and of course the interactions between the droplets are neglected. And let's not forget the fact that mass fraction of the condensed phase is small, almost less than 0.2, so the volume of the condensed phase is negligible. There are also some assumptions and restrictions when using this model. The assumptions are the fact that two additional transport equations are solved for mass fraction of the condensed liquid phase and number density of the droplets per unit volume. Also, the mass generation rate is given by the sum of the mass increase due to nucleation and also due to the growth or demise of these droplets. The nucleation rate itself is described by the steady-state classical homogeneous nucleation theory and corrected for non-isothermal effects. You can obtain more information about these assumptions using the Fluent's online help page. Regarding the restrictions on the wet steam model, it should be mentioned that the wet steam model is available for the density-based solvers only, meaning that this model can be used for the compressible flows. Pressure inlet, mass flow inlet, and pressure outlet are the only inflow and outflow boundary conditions available to this model. The access to material panel is restricted because the fluid mixture properties are determined from the built-in steam property function or user-defined wet steam property function. Finally, as you can see here, an image depicting the physics behind the wet steam model and the condensation process of supersaturated vapor is shown. As you can see here, slightly after the throat we have a jump in the pressure which exerts some kind of shock to the vapor, causing it to condense. You can obtain more info about the underlying physics of this phenomenon using Fluent's online help page. Ultimately, the mixture model is an easy-to-use model compared to VOF and Eulerian with a simple approach. It enables the user to simulate many multiphase flow problems. However, the user must consider restrictions as well. Alright, in this chapter we covered the mixture and wet steam multiphase models, and we explained their applications and the underlying physics. In the next sessions, we will delve deeper on how we can use these models by providing some tutorials on how you can use this model to solve different problems. To benefit from Mr. CFD services, including simulation, consultation, and training, contact our experts via info@mrcfd.com or visit our website www.mrcfd.com.